All right. So, good afternoon. Welcome to this afternoon's webinar. See the future, discover your place in today's digital world. Welcome and thank you for joining us in this hot afternoon. I know everyone's experiencing the summer's heat wave. So, thank you for chilling with us and spending your afternoon with us. I'm so excited for what we have prepared for you today. With me today is Mom Charlyne, who's the Vice President of Informatics Philippines. By the way, my name is Dunn. I'll get to know you better later. How are you, Mom Charlyne? How are you beating the heat wave?
As best as I can.
Okay. All right. What can we expect with your presentation today?
Okay, so the topic for today would actually be about seeing the future. So let me try to be an oracle and show you what the future looks like.
Awesome.
Okay, maybe we could
All right.
start with the slides.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Again, I'm Charlyne Santos Ebetuer, and I'm the Vice President for Informatics Philippines. And today I shall talk about the digital skills in the new economy. So, the new economy refers to the new normal, which is brought about by the pandemic. So, hopefully, I'd be able to show you how to future proof yourself in these times. Okay. So, what does the future look like? Now, you would ask, ano ba ang future natin? In 2018, there's a group called World Economic Forum. So this is composed of more than 70 countries all over the world. Usually, they congregate and talk about the things that are happening with jobs, with technology, etc., so that countries could benchmark on what's happening in the world. Now, in 2018, they did a survey of more than 800 companies all over the world. And with this, they were able to plot a report called The Future of Jobs. So, this is essentially what the future looks like based on that survey. So, how does it look like? So, let me show you. So, it says there that by 2023, which is 2 years from now, 80% of the people would have digital presence online. So it means that 80% of currently there are close to 8 billion people, I think, no? So about 80% of that would have some form of a device, a smartphone or whatever, that would be able to connect them to the internet. There would be a trillion. So a trillion is more than a billion, more than a million sensors that will be connected to the internet by 2022. And when we say sensors, it means that these are devices attached to a lot of things. So not just talking about laptops or PCs or smartphones, but we're talking about appliances, your air conditioning unit, your refrigerator, your TV, your watch, everything is connected to the internet. Then there would be 4 billion people connected through these devices. There would be trillions of money that would be funneled around building in all these technologies. There would be about 25 million apps that would be available to you that you could use. 25 billion intelligent systems all over the world would be built. And there would be like 50 trillion data going around the world during that time. It is also said that by 2023, 90% of the global population will have supercomputers in their pockets. So of course, as you all know, yung supercomputer na yon is your smartphone. As it is right now, yung smartphone nyo can do a lot of things. Now, when I first had a phone, a mobile phone, way back in, I think in the late 90s or early 2000, no, ang kaya lang niyang gawin is mag-text and mag-call. But now, mobile phones are more than that. Actually, mobile phones are being used to watch videos, do your TikToks. So yung call and text actually is a very small fraction of what a mobile phone could do. So moving forward, I don't know if you have heard of driverless cars. So this would be cars without drivers, obviously. But sabi nila in 2026, 10% of the cars in the US might already be driverless. Before the pandemic, the driverless cars are already being tested in the road. So meaning roadworthy na siya. And what they did was that they tested it with Uber, parang Uber-like yung use niya. And I think there was only one accident that was tallied with that use. So hopefully by 2026, we will be able to see cars that are driven by themselves. Okay? Dito kaya sa Philippines, kaya mangyayari. Of course, if there are driverless cars, there would actually be cities na wala na ring traffic lights because the cars would actually be controlled by computers already. So they would know whether a car is crossing by. So hindi na niya kailangan na mag-stop or mag-go kasi controlled na siya. In some countries right now, there are actually highways where they could control the speed of the cars. Kasi may mga cars ngayon na may mga computer chips na. When they pass through certain highways abroad, nako-control yung speed nila so that they don't go overboard. So right now, this is already happening. Maybe not the without the traffic lights, but if that can happen, then this is not a very remote possibility. Now we all know about robots being used in manufacturing companies, doing factory works or anything that has to do with yung mga specific processes na gagawa na yun ng robots ngayon. And in our house, we have robots who could clean. You know, you have machines that could automatically clean. But sabi nila, it would go beyond that level, that in 2026, there would actually be machines, AI machines or robots that could actually decide and be part of the corporate board of directors. So meron ditong critical thinking involved. Hindi lang sila robot that would do specific things, but they would actually think and do data analysis and give valuable reports to the board members. Next is that there would be implantable mobile phones commercially available by 2025. Right now, maybe hindi pa siya phone, but there are devices that are being implanted inside the skin. I don't know if you've been seeing these videos where the keys to their house are actually implanted on their hand. So all they have to do is touch the screen of their doors and their doors would actually open kasi nandun sa loob yung chips na yun. So if that thing can happen, yung mobile phone na nasa skin mo is not something that would happen in the far future. It would happen in the near future. So this is how the future is predicted by what is happening way back in 2018. So these were all predicted in 2018. Now, sabi doon, because of all this prediction, what is the future of jobs? Anong klaseng jobs ba yung mangyayari in the future? You know, as it is, our parents, my parents, no, not your parents, my parents, who are the boomers, no, as the Gen Z would call them, the boomers of our society, jobs were pretty much simple. You start out as a clerk or as an admin, and then you might be promoted to a supervisor. Then after that, magiging manager ka, and then magiging director ka, or kung magaling ka talaga, you'd become what, the president, the CEO, etc. That was like the ladder that they look at and see and measure your success. However, when technology happened, that kind of thing got disrupted. So hindi na siya ganon ngayon, no, that the technology is available. If you tell them that your job is actually an IU interface user or user experience, user interface user designer, malamang hindi nila alam yun. Or pag tinanong ka, ano man trabaho mo? I'm a social media director. So what's that? Those are jobs that did not exist in the past. Huh? So jobs keep evolving. So based on this study by the World Economic Forum, what are the skills that are needed in the future? One, there are 4 technological advances that are set to dominate the industry. Ano ba yung mga to? One is ubiquitous high-speed mobile internet. Ubiquitous meaning it's present anywhere. Probably not in the Philippines, But if you go abroad, actually, kahit nasan ka, nasa bus station, nasa kalye, nasa office, nasa bahay, the speed of the internet is very fast. So, sana sa Philippines mangyari rin yun, no, in the near future. But in the world right now, there are a lot of places that are like that. So, mabilis, there's a high-speed internet available. Another is that artificial intelligence is being used right now in a lot of things. So, sabi ko nga sa inyo, in the future, sabi nila, magiging part sila ng mga board of directors. But right now, artificial intelligence is being used. No? If you use Spotify, Spotify would know the songs that you would like and would create a mix for you. If you're watching YouTube, alam niya kung ano yung mga pinapanood mo, so you'd see them in your recommended list. If you use Netflix, alam niya kung anong klaseng movies yung type mo. So, lalabas yon dun sa mga movies for you. So, those are all applications of artificial intelligence. So, right now, it's already very dominant. And then there's the widespread adoption of big data analytics. So, probably you've heard of the term big data, data science, data analysis. That's a very big thing right now because the companies would want to know how the consumer uses their product and it gives them invaluable information. Kaya kailangan nila yung ganong klase ng skill. So example, there's a bank, I think this is in the UK, they wanted to know ano bang branch nila yung pinakamalakas or pinakamaraming customers in a day. So they did data analysis and you know kung ano nakita nila that the bank actually that was most used was in a train station. Pero wala silang physical bank sa train station. Kasi nalaman nila that a lot of people are actually doing online banking and a lot of them do it in the train station. Probably while waiting for the train, they would pay their bills, transfer money, etc. So yun yung mga application ng data analysis. And then there's cloud technology. Cloud technology means that everything is stored in the internet. So there's no more you keeping, so in a smaller scale, in a personal scale, hindi mo na kailangan bumili ng hard disk na 1 terabyte or you don't have to buy this external hard drive, no, or flash drive because you could always use OneDrive. You could always use Google Drive. Doon ka mag-save. So yan yung cloud technology on a personal level. But in a bigger level, so companies are starting to use cloud storage like Amazon, where they store their programs, their data. So that's all cloud technology. So yan yung nagdo-dominate na technological advances all over the world right now. Now, because of these advances, sabi nila, these are the roles that are set to experience increased demand. So ito yung mga jobs na magiging in the future. And of course, like I mentioned, it's data analysts, and data scientists, software and application developers. Siyempre, yung mga programmers nila yung gagawa sa tech, di ba? So, to create all these apps, etc. And then there's e-commerce. E-commerce would be doing business in the internet. Right now, there's a prevalence on that. So, whether you sell online, you buy services online, di ba? Even yung taho nga ngayon, tsaka fishball, binibili na rin siya online eh. So, that's an application actually of e-commerce. And then there's a rise in social media specialists because there are so many platforms right now. And companies are doing their best to be present in that platform. They want to be present in YouTube. They want to be present in Twitter. They want to be present in TikTok, etc. So they hire people who know that platform so that the companies would be able to promote themselves. So that's the kind of roles right now that are increasing in demand. So, but this was in 2018, no? So, 2018 na predict na nila na ganito na yung mangyayari. However, of course, we all know that in 2020, the pandemic happened. So, everything shut down. The world slept, no? For a few months, the entire world was like in a lockdown. Everyone was confined in their homes, hindi pwede lumabas. No, suddenly, tumahimik yung mundo, walang flights, walang tao sa labas walang maglalakad, etc. So a lot of things change. But ito bang mga na-predict ng 2018 is still applicable? Yes, because if anything happened in the pandemic, it's actually that digital transformation was accelerated. When we say digital transformation, ibig sabihin, biglang napabilis yung computerization ng maraming bagay. Naging online bigla lahat. Kasi yung schools hindi makapag-open, so nagkaroon ng online schooling. Yung banks, in-strengthen nila yung online banking. People who usually sell in Divisoria, etc., nag-Facebook Live na lang sila or, they went to Shopee, they went to Lazada to sell their stuff kasi hindi naman pwedeng hindi ka magbebenta. I remember during the pandemic, sabi ko, paano tayo mamamalengke? And then, there's this farmer's market na mag-order ka lang sa Messenger. They would send you a QR code on how much you would pay. And then you play online. So, ganun, napabilis. Pati yung mga nagpapalengke, natuto sila mag-computer and do things online because of the digital transfer. Because you have no choice but to go this way. So, if anything of the predictions would have happened, baka mas mapabilis pa yung mga yon. Now, what happened to the Philippines? This is to show you on a local level, ano nangyari during the pandemic, what happened, and then what happened to the job landscape in the Philippines. Nagkaroon ng National Digital Careers Act. This is actually a law that is being passed right now in the Senate and in the Congress. Kasi gusto nilang establish na ma-prioritize yung ganitong skills development, that the manpower skills of the Filipinos would be upskilled so that they would be able to get jobs or create jobs that are technology-based. So as you can see here, ito yung mga yon: web development, digital marketing, web research, customer service, tech support, etc. So ito yung mga gustong sabihin ng government na lahat ng trainings natin, yung funds natin, i-divert natin dito, mag-create tayo ng scholarship for people so that they would be able to learn these jobs kasi ito yung in demand sa job market right now. Not just here, but also abroad. Kasi you could do these things, I have friends who actually work here but do stuff for people abroad. So halimbawa, nagpo-program sila pero client nila nasa Canada. Or my brother actually works for a British person who does videos. Yung mga ganon. So people should now learn, the Congress and the Senate actually acknowledges that the people should be able to learn these skills so that they could reskill themselves, yung mga na-display sa trabaho nila, mga nag-close na malls, nag-close na stores, nag-close na restaurants. Yung mga trabahador doon could actually take training on the skills so that they would be able to get jobs, not just here in the Philippines, but also abroad. See, DICT, if you've ever heard of it, is the Department of ICT. This is actually like the IT department of the entire Philippines. Minap din nila, ano ba yung mga online jobs na hinahanap this 2021. And that you can see, halos lahat yan are all tech-based, no? So, mobile apps development, graphics design, virtual assistant programming. So, I know you could read the slides, web design, video editing, content writing, okay? But there's voice acting, there's telemarketing, but all of these are actually related to digital jobs. Something to do with tech. Now, DTI, the Department of Trade and Industry, actually did a survey to all the e-commerce companies just to show you the statistics. Before the pandemic, there were only about 1,700 companies who are registered with DTI who's doing online, who's doing e-commerce or online selling. But when the pandemic happened, from 1,700, it jumped to over 7,000 registrations. So, doon mo nakikita na nag-shift yung interests ng business. So, from traditional business, naging 7,000 plus yung nag-register to do online. And this was just last year. So, for sure, this year, mas malaki pa sa 7,000 yung mga naka-register na online business. So, they surveyed all these e-commerce companies and asked them, ano ba yung kailangan nyo na trabaho now? So, ito yung mga lumabas. They need people who could do Android development. They need data scientists, digital marketing, full stack developer. So as you can see, it's still in line with the predictions of the World Economic Forum. So halos in that line rin yung nangyayari ngayong 2021 sa atin. Okay, so project managers, Python, software developer, UI, UX design officer, web developer, etc. So, ang tanong ngayon is probably, tanong nyo is, what will my future look like? Ano ba mangyayari sa akin in the future? So as you can see, dun sa mga pinakita ko sa inyo kanina, is that the jobs are dominated by technology. Because in the new economy right now, technology is no longer specific to IT jobs. Dati kasi, kung gusto mo ng tech, mag-IT ka kasi matututo ka mag-program, matututo ka mag-networking, etc. But right now, tech knowledge is for everyone. So, teachers na hindi naman techie, kailangan nilang matuto mag-computers kasi kailangan nila mag-LMS, kailangan nila mag-reach out to students using the internet platform. Doctors who cannot do clinics right now because naka-quarantine and ayaw din nila mag face-to-face para hindi rin ma-expose sa COVID. So they're forced to do telemedicine, teleconsultation. So hindi na yung tech knowledge is no longer confined to people who are just interested in taking up IT. Anyone who wants to thrive in the new economy has to know technology. So that's the opportunity for you. What I'm saying is, if you're not interested in IT, it's still better for you to take up something IT because that tech advantage would help you prosper in this kind of economy. So, ang sagot ko rin sa question na to, that what will my future look like, is actually a quotation that I like. No? Sabi nila, si Abraham Lincoln daw nagsabi nito, sabi ng iba, it's Peter Drucker. But it says that the best way to predict the future is to create it. If you want to know what will happen to you in the future, the best way to start is now and then do something about it. Ikaw lang yung may power nun. Pwede mong i-disrupt yung what's happening right now. You know, just like how technology disrupted a lot of established things in the world. Because who would have known, like probably 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, na yung mga movie theaters would become obsolete because nagkaroon ng Netflix, nagkaroon ng YouTubes where you could, watch all these videos for free, no? Or for free kung illegal, no? But if you pay something, you could do Netflix, you could do VIU, you could do all these platforms where you could watch unlimited movies. And who would have known na yung Airbnb would affect the sales of hotels na malalaki? Kasi suddenly you could just, book something over the internet and stay at home na mas mura here and abroad. Diba? And who would have known that Uber or Grab would make taxis obsolete? Kasi suddenly, all you have to do is book a ride, no? Hindi ka pa lolokohin sa dito sa fare because it's already there. You pay them cashless. So these are things that were invented using technology. And you, as somebody who would take IT, could actually do that. You could change the world. Nothing will stop you actually. And don't let things na hindi kasi pwede yan eh. It shouldn't be that attitude. You know, Steve Jobs, if you've watched his life history, when he was trying to make the iPhone, pinagtatawanan siya ng industry, yung mobile phone industry. So, people in Microsoft who had their own Windows phone dati, and BlackBerry, who was like, I think the most used phone before, sabi nila, that won't work. A phone that has no keys would not work. Na tapos ang mahal niya kasi masyadong powerful yung phone tapos wala pa siyang keys. Hindi yan bibili ng market. He was being laughed at. But when he launched it, he actually changed the mobile phone industry. Because right now, most of the phones don't have keyboards anymore and they look like an iPhone. So even Samsung or anyone who's doing phones right now, yung itsura niya, physical, came from the iPhone. So Again, the tech advantage, you use that as your power to change the world. Lalo na kayo, no? If the Gen Z are watching right now, kayo yung pinanganak na meron na lahat nito eh. So you're actually very comfortable with using these things, unlike my generation where we had to study all these things kasi wala namang internet nung pinanganak ako. Wala pang computers noon, no? Na, but now, when you were born, marunong ka na mag-tablet, you know what the internet is, and the internet is like air for you. 'Di ba? Pag nawala ng internet, panic agad, hindi ka makakonect. Stuff like that. So, use that. I know that the Gen Z knows how to use technology to their advantage because I have seen a lot of mini revolution, so to speak, no, of how the Gen Z shape a kind of thinking. Like this happened with, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but in the U.S. Election, a lot of it, yung ibang idea doon was like Gen Z powered, no? I remember there was this time that Trump had to do this big campaign where you have to buy tickets, and what the Gen Z did was that they bought tickets para lang walang pumunta kasi nabili na nila yung ticket eh. So it ended up that the venue was like only half filled up. Yung ganon. But again, that's the power of technology because you use the internet, you know, you're connected to your friends, and then you bought these tickets online, etc. So the Gen Z right now has that kind of mindset. And I hope that you use that kind of mindset in furthering what you want to happen because, again, the best way to predict your future is you create it. And we hope that you do take advantage of the tech knowledge that you would have, regardless of what kind of course or what kind of field you'd like to go into in the future, because the tech advantage would get you further than where you want to go. So that's it for me. Thank you very much, everyone. Done? I'm done.
All right. So, thank you so much, Ma'am Charlyne. That's a wonderful talk. Napakagaling po talaga. I hope you were able to capture all those nuggets of wisdom that and knowledge that Ma'am Charlyne was able to share with you. Best line na narinig ko, to take home ko talaga yun. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So, now, why don't we take one question from our viewers? All right. Why don't we take a look at our current screen right now? Yeah, I think there's a question on board right now. Sir Jason Podnobe asks, how quickly can I enroll at Informatics?
Very quick, I would think. All you have to do is reach out to our people. You could message us on Facebook right now, and somebody would be able to let you know how to enroll
All right,
immediately.
awesome. All right, actually, there's a couple, one more question. You're right, Ma'am Charlyne. Just send them as a message from Messenger. Mabilis
Yeah.
yan. Aura-orada. Ipaprocess natin yan. So, next question from Shan Singguay. I hope hindi ko na-butcher yung pangalan mo. But he asks, how can informatics help us land a good job? So, that's a wonderful question. Yes,
That's a
Ma'am
good
Charlyne.
question. Actually,
Yeah.
we have a lot of partners in the industry right now. So we have partners with companies who does programming, contact center, etc. What we could do is actually refer you to these companies. So even for your OJT, we could take care of that. We would, because right now there's a challenge because of the pandemic. But even with this, we do have like an online OJT for our students. So definitely, we would be able to help you out by giving you references as soon as you finish your course. But
Awesome.
alam mo, based on our experience, not just for our students, a lot of our students actually get gigs or get jobs even while they are students. Like example, I know that at least, ito marami akong students na ganito na marami nagpapagawa ng thesis sa kanila. Like in Baguio, for example, ang Baguio center natin, when it was not pandemic yet, is katapat yung St. Louis University. So the St. Louis students, when they have like thesis in IT, they would actually go to informatics and ask help from the students to help them out with the thesis. So simple things like that. Or even I know students who do programming, web development, etc. While they are still students. So yung iba nga minsan bago pa sila matapos may work na sila because very relevant yung skills na meron sila. And even example in our Informatics Eastwood campus before, we had students in business administration, major in marketing. Tuwang-tuwa yung nag-OJT sa kanila because sabi nila, sila lang yung nakita nila na business administration students na marunong gumawa ng website because it's
Right.
part of our course. So parang nung
Right.
nag-OJT sila, bago pa sila graduate, hinire na sila. So that was their tech advantage. They weren't enrolled in an IT course, but because they know how to apply technology because of the tech advantage of informatics, they were hired even before they graduated. So there.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom Charlene. That's a wonderful answer to those questions. So I think we can go ahead and proceed with the next portion of our webinar.
Yes.
So
So where
yeah, Mom
you will
Charlene.
talk, Dunn. Let me introduce our next speaker who's been introducing me earlier. Don Christopher Noble is our department head for academics, technical support services. So he's in charge of all the tech things that are happening at informatics right now. So he's the tech guy that you could ask when it comes to technology. So he'll be talking to you about the informatics online experience. So let's all welcome Don Christopher Noble.
All right. Thank you so much, Mom Charlene, for that wonderful introduction. So it's my turn. I hope you can bear with me just a couple more minutes. This is just going to be a quick presentation. Definitely one of the things that I want to show you in line with our theme, seeing the future. All right, discovering your place in the digital world. So Mom Charlene was sharing about how the landscape of our future is going to look like. And what I want to share with you is what it would look like if you enroll with informatics. And my presentation today is called the Ion Experience. So that's what's awaiting for you, the Ion Experience. So what's Ion in the first place? I know if you saw the video earlier before the program started, there was already a brief introduction of what it is, but I'd like to go on ahead and share and give you a little bit more information of what that is. So basically, Ion stands for Informatics Online. So again, with the new normal, I know everyone's doing online study now. But again, informatics was doing this way before. So it has two components. Ion has two components. The first one is the LMS and our content platform or an intelligent learning experience platform. So that LMS is actually powered by BrightSpace, by D2L, an award-winning LMS. Okay. And our content platform, all the contents, the books, the videos, the courses that we are actually implementing inside of our classes is powered and supported by Percipio, which is powered by SkillSoft. So we also have Microsoft Teams, by the way, if you saw the video. Baka mamaya nagtatanong kayo, nasaan na yun? That's actually our communication platform. But I'd like to focus these two platforms to you today so that you can peek at your future and see what awaits you as a senior high student in informatics. So let's first start with the Informatics Online LMS. So it's a powerful set of learning tools in a simple interface, equipping you with tech advantage. So this online e-learning platform that we're using in order to facilitate our classes is such an easy to use application. So you'll notice that other schools are actually using some older systems, actually even the free and open source ones, even Moodle. And some of them lack like the accessibility features. So that's one of the things that I so love with informatics online. It's so accessible. But I'll go on ahead and tell you about more about that later. But I'd like to share with you some of the tracks that we're actually implementing within the Ion LMS. Okay, we have UX, ABM, GAS, ICT programming, and ICT animation. So these are the tracks that we're currently offering in informatics, and a lot of the students that are currently using Ion are falls into these categories. And you'll notice that I actually put ICT at the end because the tech advantage that we're offering our students doesn't only apply to ICT students. Okay, everyone, like what Mom Charlyne said, the internet, all the computing devices, all the digital skills and jobs are actually going to be permeating each and every job in the future. So that means mula sa UMS, ABM, hanggang gas, all right, if you're going to take those courses with us, all of those are going to be incorporated into this ION system, which helps us deliver great digital skills to our students. Okay, so I hope you'll stay with me as we go through the different features. So firstly, ang maganda dito sa Ion, it's very intuitive. Sinabi mo intuitive, it means that you're easily able to find what you're looking for without having to really understand like magbabasa ka pa or hanapin mo pa yung manual, but rather when you see it, you automatically understand where you need to go and what you need to do in order to accomplish whatever task you need to do. Let's say magbabasa ka ng materials, manonood ka ng videos para sa klase mo. If you're going to be submitting your assignments and quizzes, it's so easy, like I said. And it also implements a mobile-first design. What does that mean? Mobile-first design means that it has simplicity in mind. So napaka-simple lang po na interface nun. Even your grandma, diba? Usually when they say that Zoomers, yung Gen Zers, are very tech savvy. But even the older people, we actually have some wiser, yan, yung mga mature, yan, mga educators, yung mga teachers na nagtuturo, and they're using Ion, and they're able to quickly understand what's going on. And we also have award-winning accessibility. So this means na regardless kung ano yung kakayanan natin, if we're perfectly abled or completely abled or differently abled. So that means if you have disabilities, all right, if you have color blindness, diba? Problems with hearing, the assistive tools are actually compatible with Ion, and that's why it's award-winning. So regardless kung anong kakaya natin in order for us to learn, don't worry, Ion has got you covered. Next up, we have responsive design. So ang ganda din ng responsive design because actually itong Ion is accessible using your mobile browser as well as the mobile app, which is BrightSpace Pulse. So pag sinabi mo kasing responsive design, so among a host of devices, if you're using your laptops, kung yayamanin tayo, may laptop tayo, may tablet tayo, at may phone pa tayo, wow. So kung ganun tayo kaswerte, regardless kung ang device yung gagamitin mo, it's gonna be responding to the size of the screen. But don't worry, yun nga yung gusto ko dito, diba? Mobile first design. Even I know a lot of the students right now are actually using their phones to learn. So even if you only have one device, miski sabihin mong naka-cellphone ka na, don't worry. Ion is super compatible with your mobile phones. Okay, so again, you can just download BrightSpace Pulse using Google Play and the Apple App Store. Next up, in Ion, syempre, system siya. And part of it is the courses that we make. So our faculty and experts were curated courses for you and designed courses for you. And it's been made and adapted to online learning. So regardless kung ano klase yan, if it's reading materials or kung ano subject yan, if you're in UMS, you're in GAS, or you're learning accountancy in ABM, kung anong subject man yan, content learning, content writing, English, diba? Yung math, we have videos available for you. We have images and audiobooks. Yan, lahat yan. Lahat ng iba't ibang media in-incorporate ng mga teachers natin in order to make learning as personalized and as wonderful as it can be in a digital environment. So I hope I hope you're seeing your future when it comes to the Ion experience. And actually, share ko lang din, some of the teachers are even incorporating games that are available online and including it into their curriculum. So we're not just limited to videos, images, and audiobooks, even multimedia, talagang multimedia talaga literally. So that's the wonders of Ion. Next up, we have social media inspired features such as classroom activity feed. So, di ba, mahilig tayo mag-Facebook dyan, TikTok, Instagram. So, you have your feeds available with you. So, some of those features were actually inserted into the system. So, you'll find that we have posts and comments features that are available in learning management systems. We have in discussion forums, you'll see that there's actually likes and dislikes, di ba? At least habang nakikipag-usap tayo sa nag-recitation tayo at collaborate tayo with our classmates and our teachers, we're able to incorporate that feature. And then lastly, ito, enjoy yung mga estudyante lagi the first day of school. They like to show off their DPs. Yan, sa high, even their profiles. We have profiles on Ion wherein you can see all the awards that teachers have been giving you. So, yeah, itong mga features na to ay talagang in-sprinkle all around the Ion system. So, that's part of the Ion experience. All right, that's the Informatics online learning management system. Why don't we now go to the Percipio, which is our intelligent learning experience platform. Simply put, di ba, dito namin kinukuha yung mga content natin sa pag-aaral. All right, so the Percipio is designed to meet the needs of modern learners using an intuitive design and consumer-led experience to facilitate engagement and accelerate learning. So it's not designed, di ba, alam ko, ngayong pandemic, lahat tayo natuto, di ba? Natuto kasi we're bored inside of our houses. We've been stuck for so long, so we've been watching YouTube videos, trying to learn. So some of them, medyo mahaba-haba, nakaka-bore. But in Percipio, actually, it's been designed with micro-learning. So it's leading to my next slide, which is micro-learning. Watching videos is never boring on Percipio because we have micro-learning in mind. It's chopped up into topics, 2 to 5 minutes lang, yun lang yung length niya. So that if we're actually learning at home, tapos, we don't feel overwhelmed. And this also goes into the personalized learning. So, depende naman sa tao yun kung gaano kahaba yung pasensya mo sa pag-aaral. All right, if you're someone who's very studious, you can go on ahead and watch as much videos as you can, read and listen to audiobooks as much as you want. But at the same time, if you have little patience to those, you can do it one step at a time. So you're doing your learning at your own pace. So asynchronous learning natin. And then we also have some practice labs. So hindi lang sapat na yung, di ba? Iba kasi nanood ka lang ng YouTube. Let's say isang naging trend, di ba, yung dalgona. So everyone was watching these videos, millions upon millions of views rather. And di ba, hindi sapat yun na ay nakakainggit, ang sarap naman ng dalgona. Diba? A part of you really wants to try it, and that's where our practice comes in. So ginawa, it's different when you make it. That's how learning is reinforced, and that's part of the Ion experience. All right? So yan yung Percipio natin. So the Percipio, napakita na rin ito kanina, pero let's just show quickly, diba? Meron tayong 45 million users. So hindi lang ikaw ang gagamit nito. If ever, there are over 45 million users worldwide. All right? And that there's tons of content and even nominations. Diba? So you know that your learning is, you're giving your learning into good hands when you're using the Percipio platform. So ang dami, 23,000 books, hindi ka magsasawa. Diba? Meron tayong buffet of learning that you're going to be able to access once you enroll in informatics. All right. So, and when it comes to videos, let me show you what you're going to what's in store for you. So yung videos natin, di ba na-mention ko, micro-learning. Ibig sabihin nga nun, pakonti-konti. Makikita mo sa left-hand side ng ating video that it's just a minute and 6 seconds, 5 minutes, so that you can continue learning as you please. Okay? And then very intuitive din yung design natin. So kung syempre everyone's watching YouTube, everyone's watching videos on Facebook and TikTok, diba? So even this controls is very, very familiar. So it's definitely going to be easy to use. And with this videos, actually, ang dali niya rin ginawa kasi kapag binibigay ito bilang assignments by the teachers, it's easy to just watch the videos to complete it. And then there's actually short tests. Ang masaya dito, hindi siya like 50 items, yung mga quizzes. But it's actually designed. These questions are designed so that you'll really apply what you've watched. Okay? Hindi siya yung sapat lang na what is. Okay, so yung mga definition na ganun yung identification, but rather it actually really takes into consideration how much you've learned your through the videos that you watched. Okay, and then once you take the test and you passed it, then you can download your certificate and badge. And this is what I love about it. Kapag kayo nag-enroll sa informatics, you're gonna gather a lot of certificates. All right, so hopefully, yeah. And so I hope you're excited for that. Next up, we have journeys. So aside from videos, books, all right, what we also have what we call aspire journeys. Diba na-mention ni Ma'am Charlyne kanina that a lot of the top jobs in the future, if you're trying to secure your future, again, Percipio is really one of the key assets that we have as a student of informatics. So these journeys keep you working towards an overall goal, helping you to achieve your career aspirations. So pinagsama-sama na yan, yung mga videos, yung mga books, yung mga audio books, it's going to be compiled into one journey so that you can take them and achieve the career aspiration you want. If you want to be a part of, kung ikaw ay magte-take ng ABM, then we have an e-bookkeeper course. Sorry, nabubulot. E-bookkeeper course which you can take so that kasi napaka-in-demand ngayon yung e-bookkeeping course in accounting using software. All right. If you're new, so we also have social media managers. Ayan, a journey which you can take so that you can be prepared when it comes to trying to find a job after school. Ayan, so those are just some of the examples that you can learn and apply, even if it's just senior high. Okay, pwede na tayo, maikot na tayo for jobs out there in the world. And then lastly, I'd like to talk about digital badges. So part of the Percipio platform is that it incorporates badges aside from certificates. Kasi itong badges na ito na yung digital proof. Nowadays, hindi na sapat yung certificate lang kasi. It's easily photoshopped, if you know what I mean, diba? A lot of students right now, they can easily manipulate images because of apps that are available on their phones. So digital badges are actually very credible proofs that you've learned what you've learned. Okay? And, diba, hot topic ngayon sa balita, kung naririnig nyo, and familiar kayo with Bitcoin and Dogecoin even. So some of the cryptocurrencies that are popular right now. And all of that is based on blockchain tech. Okay, and that's actually what the digital badges is using as well, yung same technology. And with this certifiable and credible badges, so hindi lang siya yung icon, hindi lang siya yung parang sticker, but rather there's weight, there's credibility behind it. And then pag nakita mo yung badge na yan, ay natuto siya. For example, nakita nyo sa screen, building your presentation using Google, the Google platform, Google Docs platform. Therefore, diba? Yan, ma-flex mo sa social media actually din. Ma-flex mo to. Not only in like for looking for a job, but also flexing it on social media to let them know that you've got the skills that they're looking for. So you can post it on Facebook, you can post it on Twitter, and you can even send it via WhatsApp. And there's actually tons more na pwede mong i-share yung digital badges mo. All right? And that's it. Actually, that's the last part. I hope I was able to let you see a little bit and peek a little bit into the future. So again, once you enroll in informatics, you'll get the Ion experience. Thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, Dunn. I hope the viewers right now and our prospect students would be excited with the features that are in informatics online learning. And true to our vision of transforming you into, ano nga ba yung vision natin, Dunn? What's our vision about transforming students? To become innovators of the world.
Innovators of the
Yes,
world.
innovators of the
Yes, that's
world.
right.
So, hindi lang namin kayo gustong maging employees, no, ng mga IT companies or any other companies, but we'd like you to be able to create something and change something in the world. Now, Don, I like the part where Don talked about Percipio. Kasi, di ba, when you enroll in a school, usually you just study the things that are available in your course. But the good thing about this Percipio platform that we have that is incorporated in our Ion, in our informatics online learning community, is that you can actually learn courses on your own. So if there are courses like sabi nga ni Don kanina, no, let's say you're a Hume student, diba? So you're doing, you'd like to become a social media marketing director someday. You don't have to wait, for that to happen. You could actually take this course, the social media marketing journey, and then you could learn it on your own. So, kung meron kayong courses na interested kayo, na wala dun sa tinitake nyo ngayon, the access to Percipio could open up courses to other things that you'd like to learn on your own. And as long as you're enrolled at informatics, you would get access to those kinds of trainings. So that's the good thing about it. It's like having this, kanina, in the beginning of the presentation, nakita nyo that there's like this virtual library of courses. When we say there's this virtual library, it doesn't necessarily mean books siya, but courses, actually videos, micro learning videos that you could watch and learn from. So that's one
Right.
exciting feature of Ion. So thanks, Dan, for that very informative speech ba? What do we call this? What do we call this
Yeah,
thing?
it's a simple
Seminar.
talk.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
talk that
Yeah.
you have given everyone. So are we entertaining questions right now?
Yeah, let's see if there's questions. Mag-appear po yan sa bottom of the screen. So we're opening the floor for any questions. So go on ahead and post your questions. Where our team is standing by, so that we can accommodate and answer them for you. So yeah. So ang ganda nga yung sinabi ni Ma'am Charlyne regarding my presentation earlier regarding Percipio, di ba? It doesn't really di ba, in reference to what Ma'am Charlyne said, di ba? The best way to predict the future is to create it. So yung Percipio platform is really the primary tool, a very important asset for you to determine your future. Kasi ikaw pipili eh. Hindi ka limited sa UMS lang. Okay, hindi ka limited sa ICT programming lang. You can also integrate a lot of supplemental learning kung saan ka interesado. If you're interested in becoming a web designer, di ba? Why not incorporate natin ng video editing? Diba? As saka image manipulation, there are courses in Percipio that allow you so that ikaw na yung complete package. Wala nang iba pang hahanapin kundi ikaw. Diba? That's how you create your future through the Percipio platform. All right.
Okay. Are there questions?
I think we're still waiting on the questions, but yeah. I do have a question while we're waiting, Ma'am Charlyne.
Yes.
Ako, may question sa iyo, ma'am.
Ah,
Does
okay.
it kasi baka kasi may nagtatanong na to
Mm-mm.
ng question na to sa mga estudyante natin nanonood ngayon,
Mm-mm.
like from senior high. So maybe they're wondering, do they need to be experts at computer? So let's say they're yung say RBM, dapat magaling ba sila sa computer para mag-enroll sila sa informatics? Do
Ah,
they
okay.
Mhm.
Of course not, because you learn that at informatics. And besides, this Gen Z population that we have, no, magaling na sila sa computers to begin with because they were
Right.
born, with technology on hand. So maybe not experts in the sense that they could already do systems, etc. But being familiar with the tech platforms is easy for them. That's why yung nag-shift nga tayo to full online learning. We didn't even had to do extensive training to our students because our students would know how to log into Netflix, how to log into YouTube, how to log into all these social media platforms. And our platforms are that easy to use that it's just like that. So you don't have to be super techy to belong to informatics. You could have diverse interests, like what I said. You could ayoko mag-IT, hindi ko type yan, hindi ko gusto mag-programming kasi gusto ko yung, gusto ko maging writer. I want to be a digital arts professional. I want to be a lawyer someday. Or I want to be a doctor. But like what I said, in today's economy, anything that you do right now has some form of technology. So that will be your advantage. That will be your
Yep.
advantage to know something about technology. So you may enroll in our UMS, in our gas, or in any of our non-ICT strands, but still you would learn IT because we have incorporated IT in it. And even in our courses like entrepreneurship, business administration, Bachelor of Science in Office Administration, these are non-IT courses, but because our vision is to empower you with technology and you becoming innovators, we have integrated tech subjects in it that would complement all these courses. So definitely you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be super interested in IT to take a tech course. But
Right.
just know that you need this. This is a must to survive in this economy. So your best choice would always be informatics.
Awesome answer. Thank you so much, Ma'am Charlene. So yeah, meron na tayo actually a couple of questions on board. There's a question in the comments. 30 years old na daw siya. Oh, same age kami.
Okay.
Pwede po ba, Sir Christian asked, pwede po ba mag-enroll kahit 30 years old na? Ma'am
Of
Charlene.
course. I have a story for you. Sasagutin ko yan ng isang story. We had a student before who looked like a senior citizen already. So na-fascinate kami sa kanya, bakit kaya siya nag-aaral? I didn't know him personally because I just see him during exam period. And then I got to know eventually that he was actually a judge in a regional trial court, and he took
Wow.
up an IT course because he wanted to do something about his time. No, ayaw niya na kasi daw yung lahat ng anak niya nag-aaral ng IT. So gusto niya matuto, nag-aaral siya sa informatics. He took up we used to have like an international advanced diploma course, which is an international course. So yun ang kinuha niya. So nag-aral siya ng IT. He's like, I don't know, he's more than 30 definitely. So the one who asked is, if you're 30, can you enroll? Yes. No, a lot of our college students actually are working students, and a lot of them are not in the age where you would normally go to college, because if you're already working, you'd probably be like 25 years or older. But to tell you honestly, we even have senior high school students who are within your age range. So these are people who somehow, didn't finish their high school, but they have some time right now and they're taking up senior high
Right.
at
Yeah.
your age. So age doesn't really matter. As long as you're interested, you're
So true.
willing and able, then please enroll. It shouldn't stop you from learning. Because that's one thing that you shouldn't stop in real life, no? In whatever thing you do, don't stop learning.
Awesome. Ganda ng don't stop learning. We never should stop
Yes.
learning, di ba? Hindi lang sa school ang learning eh. So thank you so
Oo.
much, Ma'am Charlene. All right. So question daw, another question from one of the comments. Let's see. Question from a student by Ma'am Josephine Presentacion. do students need to have high quality of devices or specs to start studying in informatics? So I think I can answer this
Yeah,
one.
please, done.
Yes. All right. So, like, I think this is in line with what I shared, which is the informatics online system with the experience. Okay. Actually, hindi. It doesn't need to be like the best of the best. Hindi naman nire-require ng Percipio at ng BrightSpace, the informatics LMS rather, yung ating phones to be iPhones, to be Galaxy S10s, even as even low range and ano ba tawag doon? Low entry level phones rather. Sorry,
Yes,
I'm missing the
phones.
words. So entry level phones are actually perfectly capable of running these systems. Okay, although there are some caveats to that. So medyo may mga exception. So at least yung mga phones that are running actually Android 7 and onwards and iOS 12 onwards are easily can easily support yung ating learning platform. So it doesn't need to be super great. Basta
Yes,
actually nga nag-run lang siya ng Google Chrome at updated yung Google Chrome mo yun sa device na yun, most likely it can run the systems. Ayun.
agree.
All right. Awesome. So awesome question. Thank you so much, Ma'am Josephine. All right, let's see. I think while we're waiting for questions are coming in from the comments, Ma'am Charlyne. So talaga
Okay.
napakagaling na mga audience natin, napakatatalino po. So while we're waiting for them to come in, we do have another question. So ang tanong daw nung mga estudyante natin, do we have to be near the centers of informatics in order to enroll? Kung for example daw, kung malayo daw siya sa Eastwood, pwede pa rin daw ba siya mag-enroll sa informatics?
Of course, because we're online, it means that there are no boundaries in terms of your actual location. So you could enroll anywhere, you could enroll online, you could pay online, and you take your courses online. So it doesn't matter where you are, as long as you have a device, you have internet connection, then you could do online learning.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Charlyne. Actually, if I could share, we also have students who started the classes here in the Philippines and umalis sila ng bansa. Then they continue their learning even if they were outside the country for a while. So it does. Your location will never be a hindrance to you in order to get the tech advantage. All right. Let's see if there's more questions coming in. I think okay na. We can go on. I think everything's been answered quite clearly. So thank you so much, Mom Charlyne, for sharing that wonderful talk on our digital on the future. All right. And I hope we're able to enjoy today's talk and we were able to capture nuggets of wisdom which you can take home. And kung ano man yung iti-take natin for after senior high, UMS, GAS, ICT pa ba yan, or ABM, I hope you were able to take something home because tech advantage, the tech industry is going to be permeating a lot of jobs in the future. Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for attending. May last question pa tayo. Humabol pa siya bago tayo mag-end. Miss Liza Belonio is asking, what if DepEd or CHED requires students to go to face-to-face? What will happen to the students and will they be required to go to school? Hi, Ma'am Charlyne, I think you're on mute.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
The
worries.
answer to that would be that we'll cross the bridge when we get there, because currently CHED already announced that in the coming school year they would be adopting at best a blended learning approach, because there's no certainty still on whether students would be allowed to go face to face. So even DepEd has no advisory on that. So hindi ko siya masagot as of the moment because there are no specific rulings yet coming from DepEd and CHED. But I think we'll just answer that when that happens. Pero sa tingin ko, the way things are doing right now, the next school year would probably still be
Online.
either fully online or at best a blended approach where students would be asked to come to the center once in a while, but not like a
Right.
full on face to face thing because we're very far from what they call a herd immunity. A herd
Right.
immunity would be when you would be allowed to really go out and do normal things already because we're just 1% vaccinated at this point in time. So
Yeah. Layo
we'll
pa.
cross the bridge when we get there. Malayo pa yun. Pag-usapan natin yan when there's already official information coming from DepEd, TESDA, or CHED.
Right. Awesome, awesome. Thank you for letting us know, Ma'am Charlene. So at least in this school year, we have confidence na okay pa rin tayo sa online learning. Definitely yung point ka ni Ma'am Charlene, diba? We have just 1%, and that's a far cry from the 70% goal that we have in order to have herd immunity and to ease na yung ating lockdown restrictions and quarantine restrictions. So yeah. Uh, all right. So if there's since wala na tayong mga questions pa, so thank you so
Okay.
much, Ma'am Lisa, for that wonderful last question. So Ma'am Charlene, thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Thank you, Don.
giving
Thank you,
your time.
Don. Thank you
Thank you,
also,
din, ma'am.
Don, for sharing your time with the audience right now. So thank you very
All
much,
right.
everyone, for staying. And we hope that you learned something from us. Good
All
night.
right.
Good night na ba?
Yes. Good night, everyone,
Okay. Good night,
and
everyone.
take care. Stay
Bye.
safe.
Take care. Stay safe.